Hey everybody, it's Mr. Nordhausen coming to you live from the home studio. This video goes out by personal request to Nate, also known as Enoch. Nate sent me an email wondering if I could break down some of the specific techniques that Warren Benson uses in his NYSSMA Level 6 snare drum solo, 3 dances. So Nathan, this one's for you, and really it's for anybody else too that might really want to get in depth with all these different techniques that are utilized, of which there are plenty, which is actually what makes this my favorite Level 6 snare drum solo. I love the musicality of it. In fact, Warren Benson's one of my favorite composers, period. The Leaves Are Falling is one of my favorite pieces as well. So anyway, let's get into this, shall we? The first movement, so again, the title's called 3 Dances, and there are 3 movements, each one based on a dance. So number 1, I would highly recommend doing just a minimal research online, given this digital age we live in, to learn about the 3 dances, the Cretan dance, the foxtrot, and the fandango, which are the 3 dances. So we're going to start up with the Cretan dance, and it starts by saying that the snares need to be off, so we're going to do that. Snares are off. I also highly recommend removing any outer ring you might have or muffling devices, anything that might get in the way. If you've got like moon gel on there, that should be fine so long as you don't have it in an area you're going to play, because you're going to be playing more than just your typical center snare. In fact, right here, if we have a note just above the staff, it says right stick on left. So you will literally play right stick on top of the left. Here on the 3rd space from the bottom, which if this was treble clef, that would be a C, it says near the edge of the drum. So you're going to go out and play on the outer edge. So if I'm standing here, which I will when I start to play, I'm going to take it out to this outer edge here. Now I recommend whenever you need to play on the edge or the rim, I do recommend the outer edge and rim, not the inner, because if you're playing center, then you're going to have your body positioned in a place that is pretty comfortable here. And extending out to here is not going to be too big of a deal, and you could easily slide your body forward just slightly if you needed to. But generally speaking, when I watch kids play, or students play of any age really, when they come to play on the edge inside here or the rim inside here, they tend to not move their body, and then they're pulling back their arms like this, and it's this bad posture, bad technique all the way around. I call it chicken winging, because you're back like this. So again, I highly recommend going to the outer edge or the outer rim when need be. So we're going to go out to the outer edge here, and then if we're on the bottom space, which again, if this was treble clef, that would be an F, then you're playing center drum. So those are the 3 areas. We're going to have center drum, we're going to have outer edge, and we're going to have right stick on left. So let me give you some brief examples here. Right away, starting in the 2nd line, we start going from the center to the edge. So I'm going to play, I'll play from the 1st note to the 1st note of the 3rd line, okay? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your meter, 5 4 times. So. I broke the cardinal rule here. I didn't turn my other snares off. Sorry about the sympathetic vibrations. So as you noticed, I was playing center, right? And once we got here, I was going out to the outer edge. And notice the sticking. Now it doesn't give any stickings. There's no R's and L's for rights and left hands. I guess I do it the way I do it because of how I was taught. Or it's just how I learned it on my own. I really don't remember, since the first time I played this was probably 25 years ago. But instead of going alternating, yeah, you see, that's just, I can't even do it. It's so awkward for me. I just don't like that change, because if you're alternating, you're going to go right, and then your out to the edge will be a left, right. Then you come back down, 4 and 5 and 1, and then next time I go to the edge, it's going to be right, left. I don't like that I went left, right, and now I'm going right, left. So purely alternating, it just doesn't seem natural to me there, whereas right, left, left is consistent. And I get to leave my left hand there for a little bit. I find that a much easier way to do that, so I recommend giving that a shot. But there you got to see how I was playing center and the edge, and how that changes the timbre or the color of what we're doing. You get more overtones, more ring, and a thinner sound out here versus the full-bodied sound of playing in the center of the drum. Now, stick clicks, that comes into play here on the 4th line. Hold sticks loosely to ring. So you want the least amount of you touching the stick as possible so that it can ring. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? Alright, and easy enough. Then we're going to go between the stick click and the edge. Okay, so hope that makes sense. 1, 2, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get the idea. Down here, I recommend again doing the right, left, left as you go out to the edge. And then there's actual stickings written in. Okay, so follow those, observe those. And then everything else should be pretty self-explanatory for the Cretan dance. So there you go, Cretan dance. Now let's talk foxtrot, the second movement. Again, another dance style, the foxtrot. Now I've learned this 2 ways, and I've heard it performed 2 ways. And I've performed it 2 ways myself. One is straight and the other is swung. So let me explain that one here. And by the way, also, we're going to be turning our snares on. That's important to note. So boom, snares are on. And we're going to be using our right stick tip on the rim when we play on the C space, the 3rd space, or a left hand brush on the head if we're on the F. So we're going to swap out a drumstick for a brush. Okay, this is a wooden handled brush, but you can get the type that goes into the handle if you wanted those with the metal pull at the bottom, you know, whatever floats your boat there. So here we go. So the right stick is on the rim, and we're talking about right stick tip. It's a different sound. More full body, thinner sound. And that's going to come into play later on the 2nd page of the foxtrot. Right over, there it is, shoulder tip. So right here, Mr. Benson wants us to go shoulder tip, shoulder tip, shoulder tip. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Hopefully it makes sense. And then when it says rub and there's arrows left and right on the rim, I was always taught to do this, just to make that scraping sound. So these 4 bars here again, shoulder tip, shoulder tip, shoulder tip, shoulder tip, shoulder, shoulder, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright? Then let's talk about the brush. So the brush is playing on the drum head, and it's going to be following down here, the stems that go down. So starting in the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th measure, the brush is going to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, up. So that'd be the swung version. Now you could also play it straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, and 2, and 3, 4. Totally different feel, straight versus swung. And if I put them together, I'll play from the beginning to there, straight, and then I'll do it again swung. So here we go from the beginning, tip on the rim. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, and 4, and 1 and 2, and 3, and 4. That would be straight. Swung, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay? So straight versus swung. Again, I prefer to typically play it in the swung fashion. I think it's more stylistically appropriate for a foxtrot, but both are acceptable. What else do we have? The brush here needs to do center edge, so you're going to go center to the outer edge, starting right here. Center edge, center edge, center edge, center edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then we get to this roll here. It says full around the drum. So big open sweep here. So when you get to that measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So those two bars together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And other than that, eventually you will bring the right drumstick down onto the head near the rim, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, down. Okay? And then the other thing to watch out for is all the dynamic changes, including the fact that sometimes the right hand and the left hand have differing dynamics. That's incredibly important. Alright, so that's everything you should need to know about the foxtrot. Last up is the fandango, the fiery dance from Spain. So with abandon, so crazy, passionate with abandon, right? So you're going to want to go fast. You're going to be flying here. If you do have a ring or something to control the overtones, you might want to put it back on for this. We've got a couple things going on. If we're on the C space again, the third space from the bottom, we are playing right stick, or I'm sorry, we're playing normal. So just normal in the center of the head. But if we're up here above the staff again, we are holding the sticks loosely to ring. Right stick on left. So we're doing that again. So when we get to these two bars here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I like to turn it over like this and really just hang on with my fulcrum and hardly anything else. Okay. Then we're back to normal drum, and then we've got another one of those. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And another one here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is a cool part right here. So these X's indicate right hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and, while the left hand plays 16th notes. Now you're not actually going 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 with your left hand. That would be really, really difficult. What you're doing is playing 8th notes with the right hand on the left stick, causing the left stick to play 16th notes. You're going to need to experiment with whatever drumsticks you're using and with your fulcrum. Okay, the fulcrum is where you grip the stick between the thumb and the pointer finger, unless you're using a back fulcrum, in which case it's the back 3 fingers, or middle finger fulcrum for our orchestral players. But I use a first finger and thumb fulcrum. So you're going to need to experiment with how much pressure, how much squeeze you need from that. You're going to need to experiment with both areas of both drumsticks. Like, are you going to be, more tip toward tip? Are you going to be more shoulder on shoulder, shoulder on tip? Where is going to produce that 16th evenly for you? And I don't know if I've done with these sticks in a while, so let's find out. So I'm using more of the tip area of my right stick further down the shaft of the left stick. And I would say a moderate amount of pressure at my fulcrum. And that's producing my 8th notes. while this hand, my left, is doing 16ths. So that's what you're going to do for this area here, okay? Fun section to play right there. Oh, this is really cool over here. So again, we're at the G, right? The note above the staff, a G. So that's the right stick on left stick in the air, okay? But unlike here where it said hold sticks loosely to let them ring, right? It says gradually tighten your grip to make the tone more dead. So you're going to start loose, and as you play through this rhythm, you're going to gradually grip more of the stick to create a different sound, a different timbre. You know, like this. Hopefully you could hear a change there. Okay, and then I end up turning over when I do it, just because that's what I do. So, and then this is really cool here. R and D, ring and dampen. So you're going to do the loose, let it ring, and then the full grip, dampen it, so the dead sound. So ring, damp, 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 ring, ring. That's my favorite section. I love it. Love that section. Okay, really cool section there. And again, if I play this whole section here, it starts with the drum hit, and we're going to start with a loose hit when we go there. So these two bars, dead stroke. Okay, then ringing stroke. And then that back and forth. Okay, love it. And then toward the end, we're back to the right stick on the left, producing the 16th. So those are all the different techniques in this solo here. We've got regular drum, and we got the stick in the air. Okay, we've got the 16ths. And we've got the ringing, or the dead or dampened. Alright, well, I hope that thoroughly explains all of the different techniques, timbres, areas of the drum that get used. As you can see, Mr. Benson really did a fine job in creating a truly musical snare drum piece. Very non-rudimental. You know, it's definitely not a Charles Wilcoxon or Jack Pratt or one of those guys type of pieces, which I love as well. But this is just completely different, and it's more of a musical style, more concert-ish, if you will. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. And again, for anybody, if there's anything that you'd like me to record or explain, feel free to email or drop a message under a video, and I will do my best to answer those and give you what you need. Happy drumming. See you later.